Hello aspirants and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. In this lecture, we will be discussing about another decision that has been taken by the Trump administration to impose a huge fees on the H-1B visa application. We'll also see what impact will it have on the ongoing trade talks between the India and the United States. So let's get started with the news. So the news is coming wherein the Trump administration has issued a proclamation through which they have imposed $100,000 of fees. That means $1 lakh worth of fees. That is close to 90 lakh Indian rupees. So this is the amount of fees that has been imposed on the H-1B visa. Now, when this announcement was made, it was quite unclear whether this is going to be for the people who are already there also, so on and so forth. So they have made a clarification, and when they made an announcement, they said that it will be annually, but that is not the case. It is basically a one-time fees that will be made. Plus, it will be there only on the new applicants, the existing applicants, or the people who are already there in USA as such. On them, it will not be imposed. So it is for the upcoming applications and it is only a one-time fee. Now, why does it hold importance for India? That is because huge number of Indians are using H-1B visa as their tool to go to the United States of America and be employed in various companies in the USA. In fact, about 71% of the approved beneficiaries of the H-1B visa are the Indians. Now remember, it is not that the fees was never there. The fees was already there, always there, but the amount was quite less. So a ballpark figure, if you will see, $300, $400, $500, so that's approximately $1,500. Another $750, that is $2,200, another $2,800. So around $5,000 to $6,000 worth of fee was already there. Now it can fluctuate also, but within $10,000. Now the fees is $100,000. That means it has now become tenfold. So that is a huge increase. So let us understand what repercussions it can have specifically with respect to the ongoing India-USA trade talks. Before we move ahead on that, an important notification from us with respect to the new batches that is starting in the month of September as well as October. Both regular as well as weekend batches are going to start, wherein you will be taught, trained and mentored by the experts of UPSC Civil Services examination. Now, once you enroll with us, there are a lot of benefits. Some of them are listed here. For example, the comprehensive coverage of the GS papers, one-on-one mentorship by the expert faculties that you just saw. And remember, all this will be happening, all the teaching will happen in a small batch size of just 40 students. Now, further, if you see that there will be, of course, the test series for both prelims and mains. There will be daily answer writing practice, regular interaction with the educators, and we have a 360-degree approach for current affairs. What does this mean? That this means that the entire week's current affairs are going to be covered by the faculties via the live classes to ensure all your current affairs needs are met. So if you want to enroll with us, you can simply download our apps or log on to our website or call on these numbers that are listed on your screen. Let's move ahead. So let us see what are the economic and sectoral impact. The direct impact of this will of course be on the IT and the software exports that India does to the United States of America. A huge amount. In fact, India has a trade surplus against USA because the amount of services that we are exporting are quite huge, as a result of which we earn a huge amount of foreign exchange as well. Now that is going to be impacted. So majorly the IT professionals are going to be impacted over here. Now the IT services exports was through the via the MK report. It was estimated that the IT sector exports is going to grow at around 5%, but after this announcement, it is estimated that the growth will now be well below the 4%. So the growth of the IT or services export is going to take a hit over here. Of course, this is going to lead to an increased cost for the companies, as a result of which they would be reluctant to hire Indians. Now, because they will be reluctant to hire Indians, what is going to happen? The Indians either would have to look for an alternate country or have to look for jobs in India. So it can have a bearing on the unemployment rate as well. That does not mean that these highly qualified people might be unemployed. Now, more people will try to look employment in other places, other countries, or within India, as a result of which it will have a rippling effect, and the people lower ultimately might be left out of the job and hence unemployed. And it may also bring down the pay structure of the companies, because huge number of people would want jobs, and the jobs would be as it is, as in it will grow at the same pace, but because of H-1B visa fees, the amount of people looking for job in places other than USA, including India, will increase. So that is the ripple effect that we will see over here. Now, decrease in the margins of the project, this is also the thing. This is the issue that the companies will face, especially, of course, the US companies will face these issues. Since they still would want Indian employees, they might have to shell an addition, they will have to shell an additional $100,000, as a result of which their profit margins can actually go down. So that is another concern. Moving ahead, the trade and diplomatic implications. Now, when you talk about the visa-free move, now this announcement is coming just while the India-USA trade talks are going on. So right now, India and USA are under a trade talks wherein we are talking about the access to the market. USA wants access to India's agricultural market. USA wants India to lower the tariffs. India wants USA to not impose the additional tariffs which it has done. So all these talks are presently happening, and in such a scenario, this announcement is coming. So the background here is very important. We'll see more on that why. Now, because of this, the Nifty IT means the Nifty index with respect to the IT company has gone down by 2.8%. What other impact it has had is it has weakened the Indian rupee. That means the Indian rupee has depreciated against the US dollar. Now, India's foreign ministry has flagged this decision as a humanitarian consequence, means it is going to possibly lead to a humanitarian crisis, humanitarian consequences, because a lot of people might not be getting the job, out of job, so their family and all will suffer. So that is a humanitarian crisis, is what has been said. Now, why does this matter for the trade talk? That is what is important. Now, since H-1B changes have been made, high fees is being imposed, so USA has got another leverage point in the talks of India-US trade agreement. Then now India would want this to go away or USA to reduce it. But then USA against that might ask something else from us. So now this is basically an additional leverage point for the United States of America, which has been done suddenly and catching all of us off guard. So what is the way forward? The way forward is to raise the visa issue as a key demand for India and come to a status quo and then have a discussion of the trade talk. Also, to seek mutually agreed rules on skill mobility, meaning both the nations should agree to this. Also, create a framework wherein sudden changes, overnight changes do not happen. Rather than it should be informed, it should be mutually agreed, and it should be in a transitional manner rather than a sudden change. So these are the issues that India should raise. That's one thing. Second, in our previous lectures, we had discussed that whenever the trade talk happens, we take into consideration only the merchandise trade or the goods trade. Whereas, since our strength is services, we should also involve the trade of services, and it is high time, especially in the background of the increased fees, India should bring up the issue of the trade in services as well.